What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS 5 the Numbers and welcome to Best Bet for UFC Vegas 102. We have Gregory Rodrigues going against Jared Cannonier, and we are here 2 hours before these prelims kick off. And yeah, I think it's a pretty good card. Solid spots sticking out for sure. Back in the Apex, which is always fun. And yeah, looking forward to breaking it down with these guys. We got Johnny K Picks in the building. We got Any Action Effie making his debut. We'll start with you, Johnny. What is up? Are you looking forward to UFC Vegas 102?
Yeah, this card's actually pretty decent. There's some fun fights. I'm looking forward to like the Ishmael Bonfim and Nazim fight. Even like Vieira and Petroski. I think that's an interesting fight just because of the styles. And there's some UFC debut guys making, their first fight too. That's gonna be cool to see, like Delgado and Elijah Smith. So I mean there's some stinkers in here too, but I mean you can't win them all. So but I am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the main card, obviously, or the main event too.
Yep, no, I think there's some solid fights for sure. We got Effie making his debut on the channel. What is up? Are you looking forward to UFC Vegas 102?
Yeah, man, I'm excited for these fights. I actually like when cards only have 12 fights. I think it's a perfect number. But yeah, excited to be on the show. Thanks for having me, man. I've watched you before. I watched Johnny also. It's funny. It kind of looks like you're in a sauna, Brady, and a lot of times I'm listening to your show inside the sauna. So now I'm on it. So yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm pumped.
Yeah, I actually have a sauna. So maybe one of these days I will do the show in the sauna, but only for like 20, maybe 25 minutes, because you don't want to be in the sauna for too long. It's starting to get dangerous. But yeah, before we get into it, if you guys could like the video, subscribe to the channel. We go live every Saturday, 2 hours prior to the prelims. We were supposed to have 13 fights, but unfortunately we lost the Ruzaboev Jared Gordon fight, which sucks because I taped 2 different Jared Gordon fights this week. Just an absolute waste of time. But yeah, poor Jared Gordon just can't really catch a break. But what's up, everybody?
He can't catch a break on decisions, and he can't catch a break in fights. So
he can't get to the cage. The Bobby Green headbutt, the decision against Patty and Nasrat. He just can't catch a break.
Nope.
They were trying to finally feed him one with Ruzaboev's little brother, but he had to pull out. We got jacked Walter Walker coming for the belt. Yeah, he was in the best shape of his career. RoboCop at minus 250 makes me want to puke. Nevertheless, I'll be betting it. Let's get this money, fellas. Let's get it, Xavier. TV saying Walter Walker OnlyFans is better than Jessica Andrade's OnlyFans, and I would heavily tend to agree with that.
Does he have OnlyFans?
I don't think so. Somebody said he did.
Somebody knows, I'm sure.
I don't think so. Dixon would know. Dixon's the OnlyFans expert. We got Jake C in the building. What is up? Can you invite Colton G onto this? Is Colton G the one that said he wanted to pipe me on site? If so, he's absolutely not coming onto the show. That guy was weird.
Whoa.
We got Paul. Say, let's go, Paul.
What's up, Paul?
Dirty Like and Cannonier Masterclass. We got Mick D. We got John Q. We got Eric the Red. We got the only fan expert himself, Dixon Sider, in the building, the moderator of the channel, saying, Brady, Johnny, is it snowing by you guys? Yes, it did snow.
It was. Yeah, it's not anymore.
Yep, the roads aren't that great. We got Real Fight Pick saying, Effie sent me here. There you go. We got TV saying, bricked up, ready to see Walter's title run start today. Oh, boy. Yeah, it could be an interesting fight. We got T Carbs in the building. What is up? What is up, Nick, Jeff? All right, guys, I say we get into it. We have 12 fights to break down, which means these two guys will each get 2 passes, and we're going to kick it off with the first fight of the card. We got Jacqueline Cavalcanti going against Julia Avila, and we have Jacqueline Cavalcanti currently a minus 650 favorite. Julia Avila is currently a plus 475 underdog, so that makes Cavalcanti the biggest favorite for UFC Vegas 102. We'll start with Effie. What are you doing for the first fight of the night?
I'm going Jacqueline inside the distance, plus 300. I know she's never knocked anyone down. Avila's never been knocked down. If they grapple, she actually probably has a disadvantage in this fight. But I'm fading Avila in this fight, man. I don't think she should be fighting. And just physically, I don't think she'll be able to match Jacqueline, man. I think Jacqueline hits hard. I think she's way faster on the feet. I think that she can crack Avila. And it was basically going to be either passing on this fight or take this inside the distance, plus 300. So I think she can do it, man. I want to ask you guys, is there any truth to the rumors that we're back to the no knockout gloves?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, well, that really hurts me then. But yeah, I'm taking a risk because I really don't think Avila should be fighting. I know she did an interview where she said she took the fight too soon. She had a bad camp. She has bad knees. So yeah, I don't think she should be fighting. I don't think she should be in the UFC, and I think she gets finished here.
What was the best price you saw on the Cavalcanti decision? Or inside the distance? I see.
I saw plus 300 because
Same.
that's what I was looking. That's what I'm going to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bastard.
All right, plus 300 Cavalcanti inside the distance. Johnny, what are you taking here?
Yeah, spoiler alert. I'm going to be doing the same bet here because, I mean, I think Cavalcanti wins this pretty much 8 out of 10 times. I probably goes to decision, but there's 2 other fights that I just really don't, I have less of a read on than this one, and I don't really want to pick Cavalcanti goes to decision or wins by decision. So I'll take a chance on inside the distance. Maybe Cavalcanti gets her out of there in the 3rd round or late 2nd. Avila hasn't been very active. I think this is her 2nd fight in like 2.5 years, 3 years. She's a little bit older. She didn't look great against Miesha Tate, and that's pretty hard to do. And Cavalcanti does throw a ton of volume. It's always going to be in your face, and maybe that just wears her down a little bit. So maybe like a standing TKO, the ref just stops it. One of those kind of things. So give me inside the distance just to be a little bit safe, and we'll see what happens. Take a shot.
All right, both guys taking a shot on the Cavalcanti inside the distance. And yeah, I mean, I'm not betting on this fight, but I was surprised to see Julia Avila back in the UFC after her last performance. I kind of thought that was going to be it. And on top of that, we haven't seen her in a while. She's coming off of like gruesome injuries. So yeah, it doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I wouldn't lay minus 700 on Cavalcanti, but she should go out there and win this fight. Is it just me or is Julia Avila kind of hot?
She got that rogue style hairdo.
Just you.
So maybe. I don't know if people like X-Men.
Yeah, I mean, she's not my type, but you know, to each their own. Cavalcanti inside the distance. Dick saying everybody hit the like button. I agree. Nick saying he bet the over 2.5. The over is like minus 300.
Probably hits.
It's juicy. Yeah, I think it probably hits as well. But you're laying a lot of chalk. Never mind saying 500 plus 500 on Jacqueline into the distance and plus 700 by KO. I think those lines got completely
Long gone. Maybe earlier in the week it was plus 500.
Even Jacqueline round 3 decisions like minus 300. So
yeah,
it was pretty tough. Yeah.
That was another one I was kind of looking at too, and I'm like, that doesn't help.
Oh man, Nick as well as a big fan of Julia Avila. Afternoon to you as well, Andy. Let's see. This fight blows. Yeah, it's not my
Why
favorite.
it's the first one.
Not my favorite fight of the card for sure. All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on to this next fight, which should be an interesting one. We got Walter Walker going against Dontel Mays. We got Walter Walker opened up minus 145. He's currently minus 285. Dontel Mays opened up plus 135, currently plus 245. It's been nothing but Walter Walker's steam throughout the week, and especially after the weigh-ins, it looks like just money continued to pour in on Walter Walker. We'll kick it to Johnny K. Johnny, what are you doing for this fight here?
Yeah, I see this fight being one of those sloppy heavyweight fights where it gets over 1.5 and it goes to decision, and rounds 2 and 3 are going to be super boring because both guys are going to be gassed. So for me, like if there's going to be a finish, it's probably going to be round 1, probably Mays by KO or maybe Walker by a sub or something like that. But if nobody gets a finish, I can see it going to decision, which that's what I'm banking on. So give me Walker to win by decision. I think that's around like plus 140 if I'm not mistaken. I just think this is one of these fights where, you know, there's 2 different tiers in heavyweight. There's really good and then there's really bad. There's no in between, and this is a really bad heavyweight fight, even though Mays is ranked number 15 for some reason, but it is what it is. But I think Walker does go out there and he gets those takedowns, and then rounds 2 and 3 are just going to be, we'll see what happens. But I think Walker edges it out in the end, so Walker by decision will be my play here.
Yeah, that's kind of how I was leaning earlier in the week, but after seeing the weigh-ins, I'm not sure Dontel Mays even trained for this fight at all. I'll
give Dontel one thing though. He is pretty durable and he does survive. He doesn't really go out too easy, but you gotta watch for the heel hook though.
Yeah. Effie, what are you doing for this fight here?
If you get heel hooked in the UFC, you should be cut right away before he gets to the locker room.
By Cyril Khan.
Yeah, I agree with what Brady said, man. Like, so obviously you got to watch the weigh-ins, and when I did, I was like, oh my god, man, Mays looked horrible. He looked just so fat. My original pick was going to be for the fight to go to decision, but now Johnny kind of screwed me because I think Walker wins the fight. But man, like, if Mays just gets death tired in that second round and he gets taken down, he's probably getting finished. But he's so fat, I don't think he can submit him. Like it's going to be a ground and pound. So it's tricky. Like on one hand, I can see him getting finished toward the end of this fight. But like I said, man, he's just so fat. Like I don't know how you're going to get a choke on this guy. So I really wanted to pick fight goes, but like Johnny just did, it kind of screws me.
Hey, I mean,
right side.
I want to pick the same thing you did last fight. So
I'm just gonna go fight goes. Not fuck it. Doesn't go plus 110. Let's go Walker or Mays knockout early. Who cares?
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so the fight doesn't go plus 110 for Effie, and then Johnny taking Walter Walker by decision plus 140. I have a feeling that one of you will be right on this one.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. Walker in shape. Yeah, that's another thing.
You look good.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he looked in the best shape of his life. I went back and saw his weigh-in for when he fought Bresky, and just looks like a completely different guy in there. And of course, he didn't have the best performance against Bresky, but yeah, Walker looks to be in the best shape. Mays looks to be in the worst shape of his life. So yeah, we'll see. Dontel Mays should start in OnlyFans. No, you probably shouldn't. Max bet Walker at minus 300. No, that's probably not the best idea.
Nope.
I'm kind of upset I didn't bet Walker like minus 200. But even then, like, it's Walter Walker. But after seeing the shape he's in, my confidence did definitely rise. But
I think I saw like a minus 180 somewhere early in the week when I was doing my video. And I was like, I don't know.
It's like the Gordon fight. Like when that picture came out of his opponent, like with this little dude, man, I couldn't get to the book fast enough. I was like, oh, what is this? Like this guy looks like a guy off the street. So yeah, like I get the steam coming in on Walker.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that Ruzabova picture. I couldn't sleep Thursday night because I kept thinking about how much money I'm going to be making on Jared Gordon inside
Gordon. I was going to do Gordon in the parlay. Gordon inside the distance. I was ready to go around 3.
5 units on Jared Gordon, but they do.
I didn't think he was good. Ruzabova was good to start, and then he comes in looking like that. I was like, oh my god.
I know.
Well, he fought like 5 guys that were making their debuts in a row when he was already like. Probably 15 fights in his career. It was insane. Go look at his resume. It's like crazy.
It's terrible. Never say Max bet and Walter in the same sentence. He should win, but good luck laying. Don't lay minus 300.
Yeah.
Late round sprinkles on Walker finish. Mays.
I don't think he's gonna have the gas to do it in a late round. I think it's first round or this fight goes decision.
Via diabetes. Is there a prop for Mays losing via diabetes? I've never heard of that. That heel hook is deadly. Bresky is the worst fighter ever. Dontel Mays all day. Oh boy.
What about Josh Parisian?
Well, I think he got cut, unfortunately.
I mean, Lucas Brzeski's still in the UFC.
Dude, real fast, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace Dontel Mays is ranked in the top 15 in the UFC.
There's nobody else, Effie.
This is insane. There's 30 fighters on the roster.
That's why I said there's 2 different levels in heavyweight.
Like
there's
you have
a good tier, and then you have a bad tier. There's no middle.
Just by default, you have a 50% chance of being ranked. Like, what the hell is going on?
It's very bad, and it needs fixed. Dixon's question, is there a third Walker brother that's going to debut in the UFC soon? I saw odds open for someone last night named Walker, and it wasn't Johnny or Walter. I think I heard that as well, Dixon, that there will be a third Walker making his debut.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I heard somebody say that. Not sure if it's actually their brother or not, but that's what I heard myself.
Is it that Eric Walker guy, Jr. or something?
I forget his name, but apparently he's
fighting. Is he fighting Ruzi Boy? Who is that?
No, I don't think.
I'm thinking somebody else maybe.
Minus 120. There you go. You cash your CLV.
That is a good bet.
A CLV trophy. Bet God. All right. Mays via humping his face.
That was hilarious.
That was very hilarious.
Good move.
Oh boy. Dontel Mays and Dylan Budka on my parlay. I hate money. I can see that. That's a horrible parlay.
Good luck.
Yep.
But if it hits,
then you want to give away that money because you hate it, right?
If you hit, that's a big hit, but geez. All right. Let's move on to the next fight. We got Elijah Smith going against Vince Morales. We got Elijah Smith opened up minus 145, went all the way down to minus 240, currently at minus 135. As far as Vince Morales opened up plus 205, went all the way up to, or opened up plus 125, went all the way up to plus 205, and he's currently sitting at plus 115 We will start with Effie on this one. What are you doing for this fight?
At this point, the line is just gone on Morales. I picked him to win the fight this week. I've seen him fight in person. I've seen him train in person. I'm familiar with him over at Syndicate. But for me, I'm actually passing on this fight. I can see Smith winning the decision here, and I can see Morales subbing him or just winning the fight. So this was my first pass. I'm rooting for Vince though. He's got to go. Like he's got his second run in the UFC. I like betting on fighters that are in quote unquote desperation mode. Like he really needs this win. He got kind of a tough matchup on his return. And Talalapolis is really good. So Elijah Smith, a little bit of improving, more experience on Vince, and I've seen him train, so I'm rooting for him, know his coaches. So I'm gonna pass on this fight for sure.
All right, passing on the Morales fighting. Yeah, this line came down quite a bit. It was Monday. Vince Morales was like plus 200, and it's been nothing but steam since. Johnny, what are you doing for this fight here?
Yeah, me and Effie are just on the same page because this is one of the fights where I do not have a great read on. We all know Morales and what he can or can't do. Elijah Smith does seem like a good prospect, but he's super young, making his UFC debut. Cardio is a little bit of an issue in his last fight, but I think his cardio is pretty decent. But if this fight plays out on the feet, I do think it'll be very close. Elijah is going to have to use that wrestling, but if he can't or doesn't or has a bad game plan or freezes up, which happens to the UFC debuts guys all the time, I just don't want to risk it. I mean, the line's more favorable now. I did pick Smith. I wasn't very confident, but now it's like minus 135. It's a little bit, I think that's probably where the line should be, but I'm just going to pass on this one. I just don't trust any of these guys, to be honest. It's hard to trust both guys.
All right. So both guys using up one of their two passes, and yeah, I got in on Morales at plus 187, so I get to hold my CLV trophy very high, win or lose. I get my CLV, and that's all that. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I'd rather be on the Morales plus money side for bets if you want to. I do think this is like a 50-50 fight personally. Yeah.
Yep. We'll see what happens. It could end up being close and competitive if it does go the distance there. Vince Morales via HIV haircut. Oh boy. Morales is about to win, but might get robbed. If it goes the distance, especially with all the money coming in on Vince Morales, Vegas.
That's true.
You got to imagine they need Elijah Smith to win. So yeah, I could see some shenanigans, but like always, Morales any way he wants. Played Morales inside the distance plus 360. Late round finish sprinkles on Morales also far. Yeah, they're pretty big numbers there. Morales reminds me of someone that's inside the. Come on, dude. Let's chill out, man. I'm picking Morales, favorite upset. There we go. All right, let's keep moving on to the next fight. We got a fun and exciting one. It is Gabriel Bonfim going against Chaos Williams. We got Bonfim is currently a minus 200 favorite. Chaos Williams sitting at plus 170. We'll start with Johnny. What are you doing for this fight here?
I'm gonna pass on this one again. I don't really have the greatest reads on this either. Chaos is taking this fight on somewhat short notice. Gabriel's super dangerous everywhere. He's like early anyways, but after like a round and a half, he kind of does fade a little bit. Chaos is always dangerous for a KO. He's never been finished. So there's a lot of little. I don't know where to go with this. I am staying away from betting this too. But I kind of like. Maybe if you want to throw a fun bet on either like it's Gabriel by sub or Chaos by KO. It's on DraftKings. I think it's like minus 150. I think either of those happen. So, but I'm just going to pass or just look inside the distance in this one too. But
all right, Johnny using up his second and final pass. Effie, what are you doing for this fight here?
I'm gonna go with Bonfim round 3 or decision plus 175. I know he's a finisher. One fight only in the UFC has gone to decision, and in the 4 fights that Chaos has gone to decision, there's only been one fight that had takedowns, and it was Michel Pereira. The guy has an 80% takedown defense. Hasn't been taken down in 5 years. So I'm expecting this on the feet. I'm kind of leaning into the whole glove angle with no knockouts, no damage being done. Gabriel was getting ready for Renat Fakhretdinov, and that's just a completely different style of fight. So I do expect him to be working on his clinch takedowns, his takedowns in the open mat, but I just don't see him taking him down here. Obviously, he has to be safe against someone like Chaos, but Chaos, I don't know how short the notice is for him in this fight, so I wouldn't be shocked to see him, get tired here towards the end of the fights. But yeah, I'm going Bonfim round 3 decision plus 175. I was gonna go fight 2 go to decision plus 160, but I'm gonna go ahead and take Bonfim round 3 because I do think he can finish it late. or just win the decision. So plus 175 on that one.
All right, Gabriel Bonfim, round 3 or decision. I ended up passing on this one myself. I can just see this fight playing out so many different ways. Like I could see a Chaos Williams knockout, a Bonfim sub, a Bonfim decision. So I'm gonna sit back and watch this one, but it should be an entertaining fight nonetheless. Let's see. Chaos Club and Sub, boys. Remember this comment. Chaos by sub is like plus 2,400. So if you're right about that, that's a massive, massive, massive number. Chaos Moneyline and KO Bet. Chaos is the play. Play it how you like. Ryan on the Chaos train. TD saying, I'm thinking it goes the distance since I want to bet a finish so bad. I'm actually picking the fight to go the distance, but I could see it. I could see it finishing. We got Gamblestein in the building. Hello, what is up? Chaos plus 3.5 could be interesting. And yeah, Chaos does have to keep it on the feet for sure. All right, let's keep moving on to the next fight. We have another big favorite here is Rafael Estevam going against Jesus Aguilar. We got Estevam opened up minus 200. He's currently a minus 460 favorite. Jesus Aguilar opened up plus 170. He is currently plus 360. We will start with Effie. What are you doing on this fight?
I'm going over 2.5 minus 116 here. And I'll be honest, man, I'm super low on Aguilar. I can see him getting finished early in this fight. But it's just the fact that I think Rafael will be able to take him down. And obviously, he has to watch out for those front chokes from Jesus. But I just don't think he's that good of a fighter, man. His last fight against Nichols, I swear Nichols had never seen this guy fight. It's like the one thing you can't do is stick your head into a guillotine. And that's what he goes out and does in the very first round. So I think Rafael can get him down and then float, be safe on top here and not get caught. So I do think he does accumulate a lot of top control in this fight. So I'm going Rafael's fight over 2.5 at minus 116 on FanDuel.
All right, over 2.5 minus 116. Johnny, what are you doing for this fight?
I'm going to play fight ends by sub, and that's on DraftKings at plus 150. I think either guy can get a sub. We all know Jesus has a very good guillotine. If Rafael does make a mistake, I think this fight will get to the mat eventually. Both guys are primarily grapplers, but I just think Rafael is going to be the bigger guy here by like, I want to say 4 inches of height and maybe like 6 inches of reach, something crazy like that. So if he gets this fight to the mat, I think he's going to stay on top and be safe. And he could eventually probably find like a sub himself, whether it's like a head and arm choke or something along a rear naked choke, because Aguilar has been subbed a couple times in his career too. So either way, I think one of these guys is going to get a sub. So I'm going to go with that.
All right, I think one of you guys will be correct on this one. Johnny taking the Rafael Estevam fight ends by sub plus 150. Effie's taking the Rafael Estevam, the over 2.5 rounds at minus 116. I kind of lean with Johnny on this one. I think there's going to be submission opportunities. Although Jesus Aguilar, very dangerous off his back, he does leave a lot of openings himself, makes a lot of mistakes. So I could see Estevam snatching something up in his own right. So I don't mind that fight ends by sub. TV, dude, you gotta chill out with some of these comments. I just can't pull up, man. Let's see. My entire night is riding on Hill. What have I done to myself? Oh boy, terrifying. John Q played the under 2.5 on a juicy 2-teamer. Cash out on Hill. She is on the way out.
Judges don't like her.
The judges do hate her. Aguilar is breaking the. If he gets that gilly, man, he might. All right, let's keep moving on to the next fight. It is, speaking of Angela Hill, we got Angela Hill going against Ketlen Souza. We have a straight pick 'em here, minus 110 each way. Angela Hill actually opened up minus 300, currently minus 110. Ketlen Souza opened up plus 250, currently minus 110. So a very closely lined fight. It feels like it's been a pick 'em like the last week or so. We'll start with Johnny. What are you doing for this fight here?
Man, I wish I would have got on that Souza plus 250.
It was probably there for like 2 minutes.
But I'm gonna play Souza just money line. I'm not minus 110 or whatever the best line you see. I mean, I'm not gonna get super cute with it. This fight probably goes to decision. It's gonna be super close, like pretty much every Angela Hill fight, and she probably loses by split. But if there is a finish, I can see it on the Souza side. I think she's gonna land the more impactful shots. If there is any takedowns, I also think Souza will get takedowns. I think she'll be the stronger fighter in the clinch, especially. And Angela's going to have to stay at range and just pump out the volume and maybe win that way. But judges seem like they don't like that for her for whatever reason. But also, Souza's like 10 years younger too. So give me the younger fighter here. I do think it's going to be close though, but I'll go with that.
All right, looks like Ketlin Souza best price is -105 on the money line. Effie, what are you doing for this fight?
I'm going to use my final pass on this fight. But I agree with Johnny, man. I actually do like Souza in this fight, but I can just totally see a path to victory for Angela Hill. Souza has really bad striking defense, and Angela Hill is just going to be pumping out that jab, over and over again. She is, up there in age, 40 years old, but until we see her fall off, man, like I can't really doubt her. But you guys bring up a good point, man. The judges just don't like her for whatever reason. And I fear it's just a little bit of a recency bias here for Souza, man. She got that crazy knockout, and yeah, it's a great win and everything, but man, Angela Hill's been in there with way better fighters that she didn't get finished against. But Ketlin does have power. I'll give her that. She's way younger. She has a Brazilian neck tattoos going for her. So it's a close fight. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pass on this one.
All right, Effie using up his second and final pass. Hill will dominate. I think early on it's going to be very competitive, but yeah, if Souza does slow down, it could look dominant. We'll see. TV saying Souza hurts Hill in the first, gets a 10-8, then loses the next two. Draw. Hey,
I can see that.
It could be on the table. Hill is getting better with age. Fine wine against good top. I think this is the typical girl. Hill stops in her tracks. Trevor saying, I want to bet Hill round 3 decision at +110, but I'm trying not to bet WMMA anymore. Yeah, I saw Hill money line was -110 on Bet Online, and Hill by decision was -110, but it got better. Yeah, it was -110 just until a little bit ago. So yeah, round 3 decision is not terrible. Hill is a minute winner. Souza is a moment winner. Souza won't finish Hill. Hill by decision. Imagine an OnlyFans collab between Souza and Jessica Andrade. Oh my gosh, I don't want to imagine that actually. Souza's overrated. Hill can probably sub or win by points. Hill should have won a lot of the fights. She went to decision. Yeah, the judges have robbed her time and time again.
At least a few times, yeah.
It could happen here. We'll see. All right, and then this is going to be the featured prelim. We got Jose Delgado going against Connor Matthews. We got Jose Delgado opened up -270, currently -500. Connor Matthews opened up +230, currently +375. When I did my Stat Digger show with Uncle Weezy on Sunday, Delgado was -235 on DraftKings, and now he's -500 pretty much everywhere. So a lot of monies came in on the newcomer Connor Matthews. We'll start with you, Johnny. What are you doing for this fight here?
Yeah, I'm going to pick my spot here. I do like Delgado to win. I just don't really think Matthews is all that great. Maybe he's not even UFC level. Delgado is making his UFC debut, but I think he's better than Connor Matthews. So I think he finds a finish. I'm going to go round 2-3 KO on FanDuel. That's at plus 410. I think he does find a finish eventually in this fight. Maybe he gasses out Connor late in the second or in the third, and I think he finds that finish. But I like this guy, Delgado. I think he's pretty good. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to this one just to see how he does. But I just don't think Connor Matthews is all that great, to be honest.
You said the KO 2-3 is plus 410?
Yep.
All right, there you go. Effie, what are you doing for this fight?
Oh man, I'm torn because I really like Delgado, knockout inside the distance. I feel like I can get an edge here on Johnny on the show here if he submits Matthews. I'm actually kind of low on Matthews. I don't think he's very good. Francis Marshall was making him look like he's never fought before. He was doing everything he could against him. He was outstriking him. He's out grappling him. And I just think Delgado is a superior athlete. One thing I will say about Delgado is he does get reckless, man. He gets a little bit loopy with his shots when he has people hurt. And kind of rushes in the pocket. My only worry is that Connor Matthews catches him with a counter left hook or a right hook, in the pocket. We're in the apex, so there won't be that much area to move around here. So for my pick here, I actually am going to go with inside the distance. Hopefully he does get a sub and doesn't get that round 2 or 3 knockout, or if he does, hopefully it comes in round 1. But yeah, Delgado inside the distance. I believe I see -110.
Yeah, I see -105 for the Delgado inside the distance, and yeah, this should be an on-site piping for sure. It'd be bad. It's going to be bad, I think. I just hope Jason Herzog's not in there reffing. Like, if Jason Herzog's in there reffing this fight, we could see...
It could help my bet out or my pick a little bit more because he likes making sure it goes over 1.5 every freaking fight. So...
Yeah, if Herzog's in there, Matthews might end up getting really, really hurt. So hopefully they have like Herb Dean in there or like a Mark Smith and just somebody that is, for fighter safety a little bit, unlike Jason Herzog.
If he dies, he dies.
Yeah. Jonathan played Hill and Delgado 2-teamer plus 146. Justin saying I would clap Hill. Corey's saying judges are going to pipe out somebody on the scorecards, but the question is who? Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be some type of piping on the scorecards. We got Justin Cash with the $2 dono. Appreciate you, Justin, saying, "Would you clap Hill's cheeks?" And I think I may.
She's a lovely lady.
Yeah, she seems like a nice lady. Jose Chins Connor plus 190 for the KO. That's not a bad number.
I like the KO too, but I was just picking my shot on this one.
Is Brady an Eagles fan? No, I am not an Eagles fan. Question for the panel. Why the hell is Connor Matthews on the featured prelims? Well, Jose Delgado's on the featured prelims. They're trying to feature Jose Delgado, I think.
Yeah, and I think originally they weren't supposed to be, but that Gordon fight messed everything around or changed everything around.
Yeah, that's true. Matthews is not UFC level. He can get hurt depending on the ref. Yeah, I'm worried about who's ref. If I see Herzog in there, I'm gonna be very worried about Connor Matthews.
I'm trying to think of the ref that always calls it too early. Like, I know there's one. It's not Herb. Herb does it too, but
the guy that does Izzy's fights. Well, I apologize. Goddard.
Mark Goddard.
Yeah, Goddard.
But he won't be here. He only does fight nights overseas.
Yeah, Tyone's decent at stopping fights most of the time. He's good for fighting.
I think he's probably like the most well-rounded ref. Chris Tyone, to be honest. It's weird to say.
It's Keith Peterson, and Peterson's been a lot better, but
sometimes he's like, bam, you're done.
Yeah,
and sometimes he's like, yeah, whatever.
Kerry Hatley. Yeah, Hatley's not terrible. He's not terrible. He's the most incompetent, probably, but
I think he's well-rounded.
All right, so we made it through these prelims here. We're going to do a quick recap, make sure we got everything correct. We'll start with Johnny. Johnny, you're taking Jacqueline Cavalcanti to win inside the distance, plus 300. Walter Walker to win by decision, plus 140. You're passing on the Smith and Williams fights. You're taking Rafael Estevam fight ends by submission, plus 150. The Ketlin Souza money line, minus 105. Jose Delgado, KO 2-3 at plus 410. Is all that correct?
Yes.
Yep. All right, and then Effie, you're taking Jacqueline Cavalcanti inside the distance, plus 300. Walter Walker, the fight doesn't go to decision, plus 110. You're passing on the Smith fight. You're taking Bonfim, round 3 or decision, plus 175. Rafael Estevam, over 2.5 rounds, minus 116. Passing on the Souza fight, and then taking Delgado inside the distance, minus 105. Does all that look correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, then let's move on to the main card. Before we do so, we have 526 of you guys watching in here. If you guys could all pipe up that like button, let's get those likes, guys. Pipe it up. All right, and we're going to kick it off with a fun fight here on the main card. It is Rodolfo Vieira going against Andre Petroski. We got Vieira opening up minus 150. He's currently a minus 273 favorite. Andre Petroski opened up plus 130. He is currently plus 233. Let's kick it to Johnny. What are you doing for this fight here?
I'm going to go with the dog here. I'm going with Petroski money line. I think that's at 240 at best, maybe 235. I think Petroski gets this done. I like his wrestling in this fight. We've seen Vieira kind of slow down if he tries to go for some takedowns, and they're not really the greatest of takedowns. And the striking, I think, is close between these guys. They both throw heat, but they're not very technical. They're both grapplers, and Petroski likes to grapple the grapplers. Like, he's not afraid to just go out there and shoot takedowns first instead of him being taken down. And I kind of just see the wrestling is just a little bit better on the Petroski side. And I think if he's on top most of the fight, we've seen him do that the last 3 fights where he just basically stays on top and wins this way. So I'm not going to get super cute and say Petroski by decision. I also think that's also a decent look too if you want to sprinkle something. But I think Petroski money line at 240 plus 240 is pretty decent. So I'm going with that.
All right. Taking the big dog here. Petroski money line plus 240 for Johnny. Effie, what are you doing for this fight?
Petroski decision. I am getting cute, Johnny. But yeah, dude, Rodolfo submitted every single guy he's ever taken down, other than Fluffy. And he also has 100% takedown defense. But it's one of those where, like, who the hell out there is going to go out and try to take him down? Like, why would you, right? The guy was won ADCCs. Obviously, he has a crazy jiu-jitsu background. But as far as the wrestling, Johnny mentioned that he likes Petroski wrestling, which I do. I actually think that he will have top control over Rodolfo in this fight. I don't see Petroski submitting Rodolfo If he does gas, then yeah, I can see that. At the weigh-ins, man, Rodolfo looked horrible. Like his jaw, his face was so sucked in, his neck looked terrible. It could have been a bad cut. We could see that, cardio coming in play here. Both guys are suspect in that area. It was kind of crazy to see Andre not get tired at elevation. But Andre's done me well, man. A lot of guys don't like him. Getting knocked out by Malkoun's hip was probably the craziest thing I've ever seen. Yeah. But I had Malkoun there, so I was super happy. Don't know what the hell happened there. But yeah, it's just one of those fights where, let's say there's no grappling. All right, so grappler versus grappler, they end up on the feet. I think that Andre lands the heavier shots, with Rodolfo landing probably the more output. But yeah, I'm going Petroski here, plus 450. Like I said, I just don't think he submits Rodolfo in this fight, but I can see him getting top control. Should be interesting to see if he does try to go for these takedowns and try to prove a point here and get on top of this guy. So yeah, I'm going Andre decision plus 450.
Yeah, Andre Petroski decision's actually plus 525.
Get it.
Oh, wow.
Get it. Let's get it.
Yep, and I'm on the Vieira side. I'm just not high on Petroski at all. But yeah, if Petroski is winning, I do think it's going to be by decision. So if you like Petroski, that plus 525 makes a ton of sense. I don't trust Petroski without the lip. He came in with some type of.
Isn't that when he got knocked out though?
I don't know. He had the blonde hair, I think, this time though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with the dude in his hairstyles.
I think that's when he fought Pereira and he got knocked out right away with the leopard print.
Yeah, I think he's came in there with that a couple times. I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? Petroski decision. Yeah, if he's winning, that decision prop is very, very, very juicy.
He's gonna stay on top and just wrestle. That's it.
Gimbelstein
like try anything crazy.
Yeah, he didn't try. He didn't try anything crazy against Dylan Budka. I still can't believe he went to decision with Budka. Andre only has 1 to 2 rounds to finish the fight. If he didn't, he could be subbed in the third. And Petroski on short notice. So Vieira was supposed to originally fight Jacob Malkoun. I'm not sure when Malkoun pulled out, but I'm not sure how much notice Petroski had, though. But yeah, this was not the original matchup, which I just found out just now, actually. Petroski does not want to wrestle with Rodolfo. He will get triangle choked or Darce.
I think he will. Whether he gets subbed or not, though, that's the question. I think he will shoot a takedown first, though.
Yeah, I think he even said he wanted to sub Vieira, which good luck.
He wants to wrestle Bo Nickel, or fight him and out wrestle him. So he wants to prove a point.
He's talking a lot of crap for a guy that couldn't finish Dylan Budka or Josh Frem. That's for sure.
But
he got out grappled by Pat Downey. That's a really bad look. Pat Downey's a college wrestler.
Oh boy! Even though he came in on short notice, bro was jacked. Looked better than before. Yeah, I'm not sure how short notice it is, but what's up, boys? What's up, chat? Happy Chewy Wees to you all. What is up, Monk? Good to see you in here. Petroski knocking himself out again. Budka. We got Lou Betcha in the building. This is a crazy attractive group. Well done, Brady. Appreciate you, my guy Lou Betcha. And what's up?
We all have hats on too, Lou.
We do. I know Lou's a big fan of the hats.
Wonder what the odds were for that.
Big fan of the hats. All right, let's move on to this next fight. We got Ismail Bonfim going against Nazim Sadykhov. We have Bonfim currently sitting at minus 212. We got Sadykhov currently sitting as a plus 182 underdog. We will start with you, Johnny. What are you liking for this fight here?
I think this is going to be a fun fight too. I'm going to go with Sadykhov to win in round 3 or by decision. I think if he can, I think the first round Ishmael probably wins more times than not, but as the fight goes on, I like Nazim's fight IQ, his game plans. He does have the wrestling and grappling he can mix in. I think his striking is pretty decent too. So I kind of don't understand the line. I think it should be a little bit closer. I don't know if it's maybe because Ishmael's a Bonfim brother, and the lines always go up, but what I seen against him against Saint Denis was not great. And Sadykhov, he could take a shot. He's durable too. He can kind of push forward, use that wrestling and grappling maybe in the later rounds. And Ishmael kind of slows down a bit as the fight goes on too. So I like Sadykhov as an underdog here too. So I'll just do round 3 by decision or by decision. And I believe that's plus 3 something. Let me look. I can't remember. Crap, I thought I wrote it down, but I didn't.
Oh boy.
It is on DraftKings plus 350.
Jeez, that's a good line there.
And if the fight goes to decision, I think Sadykhov wins it. I think he wins rounds 2 and 3 more times than that. But round 1 is the round that I think he might lose. So it could be a good live betting spot too if you see how Ishmael's looking during the fight.
Yeah. Round 3 decision plus 350. That's not a bad line if you're on the Sadykhov side. Effie, what are you doing for this fight here?
Going Bonfim decision plus 130 here. And honestly, man, I'm actually not really impressed by either guy. I know a lot of people are high on Bonfim. Beating Pichel the way he did, I mean, Pichel's not that great. He's a million years old. And both of them whooped Terrence McKinney. We all know the story with him and get him, super gas bag, and a little bit chinny. So he got destroyed by BSD, but, BSD is a beast. I think that he's actually harder to hit than Nazim. Nazim's striking defense is a little bit worse, in my opinion, than Ismail. Ismail is very quick. And I do trust his guard on the feet. I think his high shell is a little bit better than Nazim. Nazim throws a ton of spinning strikes, which I think hurts him. And I remember betting on him against Evan Elder and just sweating my ass off the whole time. We're like, oh, wow, this is extremely close. That cut saved me big time. So I'm a little bit lower now on Nazim like I was previously. So, yeah, I think Bonfim gets the win here. I think both the brothers do win. But I'm going to go decision here. I like the old or fake gloves or the no violence gloves, you could say, helping me here. So I like Bonfim decision plus 130.
All right, Bonfim decision plus 135. Johnny taking the Sadykhov round 3 decision plus 350. I didn't bet on this fight, but I think the fight probably goes the distance. But
yeah, I think it goes a decision too.
Yep, that's kind of where I'm leaning, but didn't get to a bet on this one. Sadykhov is from Serra-Longo Gym A. Yep, he is. Nick is fading the Bonfim brothers big time. We got a Bears fan in the chat. Nazim moneyline wanted to sprinkle KO, but didn't at plus 600. Sadykhov going to a draw with Slava aging terribly. Yeah, he did look bad as the fight went on, but that fight could have been stopped. But Keith Peterson was very drunk and couldn't stop the fight.
Yeah,
it's hard to stop a fight when you're just very intoxicated. I think
kind of forget what you're doing at one point.
Yeah, exactly. Happened a couple times to Keith.
Like, wait, why am I here? Oh yeah.
I think he's gotten some help though. I think he's been doing a lot better.
Good for him.
Yes. All right. A couple more fights here. We have Edmund Shahbazyan going against Dylan Budka. We got Shahbazyan currently sitting at minus 500. We have Dylan Budka currently sitting as a plus 375 underdog. We'll start with you, Johnny. What are you doing for this fight here?
Yeah. Man, both these guys are just untrustworthy. But I'm gonna go with Shahbazyan KO in rounds 1 or 2. I believe that's plus 180 on FanDuel. Let me look it up just to be safe. I could be wrong. Yeah, it's plus 180. I think if Edmund wins, it's first or second round KO. And on paper, you would think it would be that, but man, if freaking Budka can get a takedown, then everything changes. And I don't think Budka is good at all. But he has the style to beat Edmund because we've seen Edmund get taken down time and time again. He doesn't know how to get up and then he eventually gets finished. But I'm going to bank on Edmund getting that KO at one point. He does hit hard. Maybe he worked on his takedown defense. Who knows? I doubt it. But I'm not very happy about this, but I'm playing it. Round one or 2 KO for Edmund.
All right, Shahbazyan, KO 1-2 at plus 180 for Johnny. Effie, what are you doing for this fight?
Man, that hurts. I really liked the fight doesn't start round 3, minus 110. If I pick that, though, Johnny has a leg up on me. So I'm actually going to get cute here. I'm going to go Edmund round 2 KO. I think round 1 could be a little bit hairy. And I just don't think Dylan Budka is very good, guys. I think he's horrible. Someone commented on site here. Yeah, I think this is going to be pretty quick. I think Edmund crushes him. One of those typical UFC get-right fights, very clearly, in my opinion here. Dylan's going to lose and then get cut. So give me Edmund round 2 KO.
Edmund Shahbazyan KO 2 plus 650 for Effie, and then Johnny taking the Edmund Shahbazyan KO 1-2 at plus 180. And yeah, he should go out there and make this look pretty easy.
Should.
Yeah, they're
giving
the key
word here.
Yeah, they're giving him a layup. So we'll see. Shahbazyan first round piping, saying on site. Yeah, it could be on site. How the hell do you make money on this card confidently? What is the world coming to? Edmund at minus 400. Well, how about minus 500? How about Jose Delgado minus 500? How about Yusuf Zalal minus 500? How about Cavalcanti minus 700? Yeah, the parlay boys
These lines have been
are back in town. These lines are getting steamed.
blew up.
Yeah. Minus 500 on Bet Online currently. 138 saying bet the draw. Hey, it could happen, man. It could happen. But if that happens, Edmund should be just ashamed of himself. Just ashamed of himself. All right. Let's move on now to the co-main event. We got Yusuf Zalal going against Calvin Kattar. Got Zalal open up minus 225. He's currently minus 500. Calvin Kattar opened up plus 190. He's currently at plus 370 underdog. Another really big favorite here on the main card. We'll start with Effie. What are you doing with this fight here?
Yeah, man. At first, I was like, is Calvin Kattar like going in there with one hand? Kind of crazy line, but I mean, Zalal is just on a different trajectory here than Calvin. For my pick, I'm going to go Yusuf Zalal via decision. I don't think he subs Calvin. I don't think he actually goes out here and forces the takedowns. I think he's going to be able to strike with Calvin. Love the trips that Yusuf's been doing lately. I mean, the trip he got on Billy Q was absolutely beautiful, right into the side control, and then it just got to his back. His back takes have been so fast lately. But I really actually like Calvin fighting Aljo going into this fight. He just fought one of the best grapplers probably in the division, and Aljo is going up to 145, just brought a whole new level of strength. But he was able to get up at times, and I think this fight does extend here. So I think Yusuf Zalal wins this fight. I think that's going to be a good fight. But minus 500, man, that's absolutely crazy in my opinion. Like you guys were just saying, some of these lines are just crazy wide this week. But for me, my pick is Yusuf Zalal via decision. I believe I see minus 125-ish on him.
Yep, minus 125 for that Zalal decision. Johnny, what are you doing for this coming event?
Yeah, I like Zalal here too, but I'm just going to go inside the distance, actually. I think he does actually find a sub more than a KO, but I just want to be a little safe here. I can see him getting that trip and maybe taking the back real quick, like Effie said. He's looked great with his grappling as of late. In his first stint with the UFC, he didn't really grapple too much, but now he's like mixing in that wrestling, and his striking is looking a little better. He looks a little bit more explosive. Kattar is like on the decline a bit. I know all he did in his last fight against Aljo was basically stuff takedowns, but he's primarily a boxer that's going to be pushing forward, and I think Zalal can get some takedowns or maybe keep him at bay with his kicks, and like he's got dynamic striking. I just think right now Zalal is on the up and up, and Kattar's on the down. So I think maybe a club and sub too. Maybe he clips him and then chokes him out or something like that. So, but give me Zalal inside the distance. I'm gonna take a shot on that at plus 200. I see, unless there's a better line.
215 for Zalal.
I'll take that
inside the distance. I have a feeling that one of you guys will be correct on this one here. And yeah, I'm right there with you, Steven. Zalal is nasty. Yeah, Zalal's been looking like an absolute killer as of late.
Totally different fighter.
Agreed. I have Zalal by sub. I might cash it. Kattar hard to finish and hasn't been finished technically KO'd. Zalal is legit. Yes, he is. If Zalal had power, he would beat Taporia in a rewatch, but kind of pillow-fisted. I don't know about
now he's
that.
I don't know. He's got some knees now. He's got everything.
I don't think he should have got cut like to begin with.
I don't understand why he did either. He went through like 3 fights that were pretty rough.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think he got cut because like all 8 of his fights went to decision.
Oh,
and they don't like
that. Maybe.
Yeah, they don't like that. Let's see here. Played the over 2.5 at a 2-teamer. Non-violent era has returned. Apparently, yeah, there wasn't any violence last week. Zalal is not going to hurt Kattar. Kattar has an iron chin. What time is the chaos fight? I don't know. Like 5:30, something like that. Coming up here. We got Tajik Bey, the GOAT in the building. What is up, Tajik? He was so young, and yeah, he was young, and he's still young. What is it, like 27?
Yeah, 28, yeah.
28, yeah. All right, it is now time for the main event. We got Gregory Rodrigues going against Jared Cannonier. We got Gregory Rodrigues opening up minus 175, currently minus 237. We got Jared Cannonier opening up plus 150, and he's currently a plus 202 underdog. We will start with Effie. What are you doing for the main event?
Getting crazy here. Gonna get crazy on this one. Taking RoboCop via submission in this fight. More likely, though, he does probably knock out Cannonier. I do think he wins the fight. Cannonier, man's getting up there in age, and he's not taking shots well. But man, it's so crazy. Gregory, I really like how he uses takedowns against Duncan. And I would really like him to use that more in his fights, man. I love watching him grapple on UFC Fight Pass. Absolutely crazy. He went to a draw with Joe Solecki, but Joe Solecki super scrambly and just never stopped moving in that match. He obviously beat Cody Steele in on the Fight Pass Invitational too, but he has really good grappling, man. I really want to see him utilize that more in his fights. Cannonier getting up there in age, the durability I am starting to question here. I do think that stoppage against Imavov was a little bit premature. He was throwing in the pocket, well, as the ref called it, but I just don't think he's taking shots as good. So yeah, I'm gonna get cute on this one. I think he takes him down. Cannonier has been taken down by people like Sean Strickland. I know that was years and years ago, but I think Gregory is a way stronger grappler than someone like that. So yeah, I think Gregory gets him down and tries to avoid the big bombs coming his way. So give me Gregory Rodrigues submission. I think it's crazy, like
600 plus 600 for the submission. I personally retired from betting Rodrigues by sub after the Dennis Tuoluen fight. I think I've never had so much money on a sub prop, and he took down Dennis Tuoluen, and instead of subbing him, like Dennis has been subbed like 4 times, he landed like 1 elbow and the fight was over. I was absolutely disgusted. But yeah, I'm done with the Rodrigues sub props, but the guy is an incredible grappler. Johnny, what are you doing for the main event?
Yeah, I'm not going to get cute with this one. I'm going to go RoboCop by KO. I think he finds that KO on the feet, or he finds a ground and pound KO on the mat. Now, if this fight does extend maybe into rounds 4 or 5, which I would be shocked, but if it does, Cannonier might be live, because I don't know about Robo's gas tank for rounds 4 and 5, especially if he's grappling. He does slow down a little bit if he does that, so it kind of worries me a bit if he does go to grappling early. But I'm going to say this fight probably doesn't even get to round 4 one way or another. But I think RoboCop, he's the way bigger guy. If you saw the face off, it's crazy how big RoboCop is. They both hit hard, but Cannonier's 40 years old. His chin's looking a little dusty. And especially if Gregory can get a takedown, I think he can get a ground and pound pretty easily. He's going to be the bigger guy, and he can out-grapple him all day. So I'm going to go KO. I saw plus 100, but if you see a better one than that, I saw
like plus 145.
Yeah, I'll take that. DraftKings has it at plus 100. So
yeah, I see that. Yeah, plus 145 on Bet Rivers there.
Yep.
Gamble Sign taking a shot on Cannonier. Yeah, it's a wide line, man. It's a wide line. We'll see. Dirty saying levels to this Cannonier round 4 finish. Thomas saying Cannonier all the way. RoboCop got KO'd by suspect fighter. Yeah, the only suspect one was really Jordan Williams. I don't like to see that, but. Did you guys say they're wearing? Yeah, apparently they're wearing the non-violent gloves for this card, which is annoying, but what can you do? The new gloves matter to me in the main. Otherwise, I'm confident in KO on either side. Hopefully, the ground and pound for Rod. Gregory looked twice as. Yeah, he looked
huge.
He looked absolutely huge at face-offs. Fight to start round 3, minus 135. The only way I can play it, it'll be a sweat. It'll certainly be a sweat.
10 minutes.
Played this fight under 2.5. Dirty saying RoboCop's chin is super questionable. He puts his arms straight out like Frankenstein, there to be hit. Jared's a dog. We shall see. Who is fighting right now? Nobody. The fights are kicking off in about an hour and 6 minutes. All right. What we're going to do now is we're going to recap the main card, and then we're going to give our best bet for the entire card. If you hit the best bet, the profit is going to double. So say, for example, Johnny's best bet for whatever reason is Andre Petroski on the money line. So instead of getting plus the 2.4 units,
I'm not going to do that now.
You will get,
I'm going to look like a fool.
You will get 4.8 units if his best bet was Andre Petroski. So for Johnny, on the main card, he is taking Petroski money line plus 240. He's taking Nazim Sadykhov round 3 or decision plus 350. He's taken Evan Shahbazyan by KO in rounds 1 or rounds 2 plus 180. Yusuf Zalal inside the distance plus 215. And then Gregory Rodrigues by knockout plus 145. Johnny, does that look correct? And if so, what is your best bet for UFC Vegas 102?
Yep, that looks good. I'm going to go with Delgado KO 2-3. I think he finds that KO. I'm just hoping it's in round 2 or 3.
All right. Jose Delgado KO 2-3 to win 8.2 units. We got Effie. On the main card, he's taken Andre Petroski by decision plus 525. Ismail Bonfim by decision plus 135. Edmund Shahbazyan KO2 plus 650. Yusuf Zalal by decision minus 125. And then Greg Rodrigues by submission plus 600. Does all that look correct? And if so, what is your best bet for UFC Vegas 102?
It's going to be Gregory via submission, plus 600. But yeah, that's all correct.
Rodrigues submission to win 12 units there. And there you guys have it. Thank you all so much for watching. Going to kick it around here. We'll start with Johnny K. Johnny K, let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, thanks for having me again. Definitely check out DFS by the numbers if you haven't, and also FE Any Action Sportscast too. But you can find me at Johnny K Picks, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. I also have a Patreon if you want to check that out too. I usually put out my UFC videos on Sundays, go live on Wednesday nights with Defender units, and sometimes I do fight companions on Saturday. So check me out.
There you go. Check them out. Effie, let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, man, hit me up on YouTube, Any Action Sportscast. Really appreciate you guys having me on, man. The chat's amazing. You have one of the best chats, Brady. I think they're super funny and very knowledgeable. So thanks for having me on, man. Also want to shout out Brady, man. I remember watching you and you went through a crazy physical change. You got in shape, lost a ton of weight, and that was super inspiring, man. I definitely have watched the whole time, and it's something for the chat, man. Like definitely, stay in shape. Your health is your wealth. So love to see that. But yeah, thanks for having me on. And yeah, Any Action Sportscast on YouTube and on Twitter. Been going live recently a lot. Sometimes I do my videos pre-up, not live, and then just upload them. But lately I've been going live, trying to get more guests. But yeah, hit me up, Any Action Sportscast. I love hockey. And last thing I'll say is let's go Team USA. We're taking on Canada today at 5 p.m. Washington time. So need all you guys to root for USA and screw Canada. So let's go.
That's right.
What are they playing? What are they playing today?
It's like a country versus country against Canada. It's at 5 Pacific time. But yeah, Team USA versus Team Canada in hockey. I'm a big hockey fan. Any Action Sportscast for a reason. I love all sports. Huge sports fan. But MMA and hockey are probably my favorite sports. So big game today. This card's going to be tricky. I think someone commented in the chat. We have to get creative on this card, and I couldn't agree more. So be safe with your bets, man. Don't bet too much. Yeah, good luck, everyone. Thanks for having me on. Super fun show.
100%. Thank you both for coming on. Thank you, chat, for tuning in. If you guys could on the way out, subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow for Stat Diggers for, was it UFC Kansas City next week or UFC
Seattle.
Seattle.
Yeah.
UFC Seattle next week, which looks to be a kind of a dumpster fire. We lost 20 fights, a lot of late short notice replacements, but it should be a fun show tomorrow. Best of luck, guys. Enjoy the fights, and we'll talk to you soon. See you later.
Good luck, guys.